Hello everybody and welcome back to Learn by Play here on the D&D channel. We're back for another episode with the Learn by Play Wildcards crew. So let's get into it, my friends. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon and the world's greatest role player. I'm back here today with other great role players. Not the greatest, but certainly some of the greats. We have Sid with me tonight. Sid, how's it going?
Yeah, great. I'm great.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much. But yeah, I am great, and I'm really excited to keep going. I am scared, and I have 3 candles near me right now in case I need some calming scents during this game, because somebody is going to do me dirty and stress me out. Not naming any names, but somebody is probably going to make me require all 3 of them. Anyway, I'm playing Ramsey, who's a drow alchemist. And I can't wait to see where this goes.
Amazing. We also have Myth back with us tonight. Myth, how's it going, my friend?
Man, it's great. I'm already stressed. I'm sweating. Someone help me. I'm super excited about the game today. We're gonna have a lot of fun today, delving into the. I guess I think we're going back into some more of the criminal world of Waterdeep. I'm excited to see what it has to offer and what mistakes we're gonna make this time. I'm playing Captain Turntides Bromley. I'm going to keep saying Turntides. Captain Turntides Bromley, a once rogue, now sea sorcerer or something has corrupted him and changed him. And we don't know what that is. And I can't wait to find out what it is.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. We also have Lindy back with us tonight. Lindy, how's it going, my friend?
I'm super spiffy. I think I might be coming down with something, but I'm going to be heavy-handed with that mute button so I don't cough into the microphone for you all. So, you know, doing great. I'm just chilling.
Yeah, it's been a week.
I think we're going to be fine. We could possibly go around playing factions of the crime world of Waterdeep against each other. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. And of course we have Greg, the mischief maker himself. How's it going, Greg?
Oh, you know what? This is just the best because we get to be on Wizards of the Coast. We get to learn while we play. We get to play with the wild cards. I get to play with all my friends. We get the aromatic qualities of scented candles that are burning to help relieve stress. It's everything that you could possibly want in a D&D session. I can't wait to get back into Waterdeep, Dragon Heist. Let's talk to the criminals. Let's become the criminals. Let's play them against each other. Let's burn it all to the ground. Let's cause stress. Let's do it.
Let's cause anxiety is the tagline of Learn by Play. I think we also have Tool School with us tonight. Tool School, how's it going, my friend?
I'm doing good. I am looking forward to see how this is all going to go down as we get into, I guess, the business side of crime. And, you know, make sure that we all have our paperwork to file our taxes, because while you don't have to pay them, you do have to file them. If we've learned anything from this interim, that's what we've learned. And but yeah, no, this is going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting fast because, yeah, we're going to screw this up so damn bad. Who am I kidding? Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Yes, the Zentrum CEO Jeff Bezos is an expert at such matters, but our party are perhaps not such experts just yet because they found themselves in a new deal with the Zentrum, particularly one Schemo Weirdbottle, who set them up with a new lab, some cash to spend, and the supplies to create their new pumpkin-spiced drug, which will give normal people in Waterdeep the glimpse of heroics, a little bit of magic here and there, a little bit of extra power until they become addicted on it. And this is because Michael Arboretti, the leader of the Arboretti family, told them to do so and has put them in quite a difficult situation to do so. But unfortunately for him, they have been double-crossing Michael a little bit here and have basically cut him out of this deal, have started up their own business, the Wildcards, and have set up shop with Lazents. Schemo Wild Bottle, Ziraj the Hunter, and his kin. Now, this has a great deal of consequences, which I'm sure we will see in the near future. But for now, they've got themselves up with a pretty cushy lab. Now, we're going to pick things up right where we left off. And I remind you guys that are here for the Learn by Play educational side of things. At the end of the stream, for the last 10-15 minutes or so, we will talk about the session and have a breakdown of some of the key takeaways, points, and things that we think will be helpful for you guys looking to DM or looking to play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So, last time we left off, you guys had just shaken with Schemo Weird Bottle. He had said it would be a pleasure to enter into business with you. We pick up things about 3 minutes later. Schemo has ushered you out. You're back with a couple of the thugs who have been given the message, the all clear, if you will, from Schemo to set you guys up with this little territory somewhere within the Zentarim grounds. Now, you are led by this troop, 5 or 6 thugs, including the half-orc who gave some respect to Sal and Flimmerich and Turntides before as sort of old hands, towards your new lab. Now, this safe house is basically an empty warehouse along the docks, which you are given. It's not directly on like the beach, but it's in the dockside area, the district, which is generally considered Zentarim territory because they control a lot of imports and exports in this grounds. It's constantly being, the lines are constantly being redrawn and contested by the Xanathar Guild, but you're in a pretty much safe area. You're also fairly far away from the Arboretti territory, which is small at best. It's really just a small little kind of borough within Waterdeep. And you guys find yourself coming to this big sort of shipyard, really, what looks to be an old abandoned shipyard place. However, when the doors are thrown open inside, you can see what would appear to be Schemo Weird Bottle's sort of secret lab. Now, you would know that the Zentarim don't really push drugs. That's the Xanathar Guild's business. And so you are on the sort of border of the Zentarim territory. You're far enough away from them to be able to say, oh, we've got nothing to do with those guys. Because if things go badly and the Xanathar Guild find out about this business and want to take you guys down, then they don't want anything to do with a war with the Zents and the Xanathar Guild. So you're in something of a neutral zone. It's right next to Zentarim territory, but not so deep in that it's like the heartland and well protected. So you're in something of a dangerous area, but a no man's land, if you will. And this shipyard is just complete with everything that Ramsey would want to create this drug. It's got alchemy tables and desks. It's got, you know, separate work areas for different parts of production process. It even probably has a bit of like arcane machinery which can help in the production process. However, one thing that you will notice, Ramsey, is that you're going to need labor. If you're going to do this on a big enough scale that you want, you're probably going to want to hire at least 5 to 10 people who can keep their mouths shut and can just work around the clock to create this stuff. It really is sort of like this workshop which has been set up for you. You'd suspect that Schemo has a couple of these scattered about. He just hasn't set them into production because they don't have that agreement with the Xanathar Guild, and they don't want to step on any toes. But, you know, they clearly have these resources well set up in advance in case they ever want to get into this industry. The couple of thugs kind of grunt to you and leave you alone, walk back into their own territory, sort of, you know, across the road, and you guys are left with a chest which, when opened up, holds 2,000 gold pieces in. You have your contract with Schemo Weird Bottle, and you are left with the lab to do with whatever you please. Basically, is to make money. If you don't make money, there are clauses in this contract where if you don't make X amount of gold, then they start recusing on everything, and they start recapturing, repurposing everything, including you. So it's you know, loan shark, big interest sort of. Let's start making money right this second. Let's not lay around anywhere. So there we find our heroes are wild cards. What do you guys do?
Sal's going to just sort of take a check of the perimeter, look to see what we've got for. Yeah, I'm to take Drexel with me where we have entrances, exits. If there's
Exactly
on the
my
docks. Yeah, on the docks, is this one of those warehouse districts that's actually built on a pier? So there's water below us, like that we could do a water escape. That there's a boat tied up through a hatch in the bottom. We've got a captain with us, so he's going to be doing that, secure the perimeter, windows where people could possibly be watching us from. If it's a warehouse has high up windows, could people be like on rooftops that could see what we're doing? General shakedown of the area with Drexel.
Absolutely. You guys take a quick look around the perimeter. Now, a couple of things you're going to notice about the place. It does have water access. There's a small canal, which is only a few feet wide, really, which is big enough to fit a small little boat down for shipping things back and forth from the docks, but nothing that you could run a warship down or a battleship or anything like that. But it's enough for you to run stuff down to the docks, run stuff up to the docks, and let people in and out via the sort of underwater passage where ships would be worked on and then eventually sort of hauled out, probably just by manual labor, tugging on ropes, 24601 or whatever it is. And the other thing you would notice is that there is a orb which appears to be at the top of this room, which looks to be some kind of scrying orb. It's floating in midair. It's clearly magical and is just floating kind of ambiently above, almost like a light bulb, something along those lines. There is rooftop access because it's adjacent to other shipyards. It's all in a block. So you're in Unit 43 and Unit 42 is right next to you, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of like you've got a big garage right now
with a camera.
With a camera, maybe. Well,
I know, but maybe a camera.
Well, probably a camera, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Your initial suspicion would be
that was out of game. I wouldn't know that. I don't think.
Actually, Tone Tides is pretty familiar with scrying, as Flinridge has scryed before. Flinridge could pretty much immediately tell you that this is an orb of scrying.
Yeah. Perfect.
He used to use one all the time. Probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Back when he had magic. Back when he was anything. Am I right? What is so is there plumbing here, or does everything lead to the water below us?
It leads to the water, right? So it's pretty much there's a little canal beneath which the shipyard would open up into, so you could run the ships right through or to the next unit if you wanted to. You could close that sluice so that you don't have to have access to it if you didn't want to. But yeah, it's totally open there. It has plumbing which runs down, but it's basically some big pipes.
But nothing to the sewers.
It's not probably to the sewers. Yeah, there'd be a sewer grate which would lead down there if you went far enough. It's pretty quite far. You guys, there's a lot of sewage. So
and that's it probably hasn't been cleaned, or the slop has probably the drain and grout and whatever hasn't been cleaned for a while. There are reasons why I'm asking that, and I will probably be bringing that up as soon as I see it. So it seems here as we've got access to the sewers, Yeah, he used to be did a lot of water treatment back before he was a pirate. Right, yes, this all seems fine. He notes that as one of the first things, and he mentions how it's a health code violation. Now, he mentions how that it could be, we have to be careful, because we may have eyes in here, but now we could also have ears down there. And I point to the sewer grate. Because I think we referred last episode to the Xanathar Guild running everything everywhere in Waterdeep underground, including sewers as their being their main form of travel.
The mountain, which is in Waterdeep, yeah.
Which also, now, while I'm bringing this up here, we also have, if we want, depending on which cards we want to show in our hand, do we want to use this? And I point to the grate again. or stepping on it, I guess, with the heel of my boot.
Now, dangerous as it may be, I think we could.
And I kind of flick my eyes towards the scrying orb, or the orb that I've been told is a scrying orb.
But we'd have to do it very discreetly. But there is access to more resources and more coin.
I'm not sure how I feel about all of this. I mean, I'm all for a cushy lab, obviously. I'm never going to turn down anything that's of luxury. That's how I got in this mess in the first place. But, Linrich and Sal, weren't we, before we left, we were saying that if we were ever to turn on Michael, and our punishment would be we would suffer so much we would wish we were dead. And then we came here, and I felt like the group consensus was that we were not going to turn on Michael. And then we turned on Michael.
I didn't turn on Michael. Did you, Sal?
Of course not.
What makes you think we would do such a thing?
She pulls another vial out of her alchemy belt, throws it back, and she's like, I've just been wrong about so many things today.
Flinrich will walk up beside the dock and whisper to her, "Oh, I definitely turned on Michael. I definitely, absolutely, 100%."
She looks over at Brom and Sal and gestures over to Flinrich so I guess we're calm. We're all calm. Calm, right?
If it makes you feel any better, Michael can't get you here. He's never coming into this area. If he does, he's going to send amateurs. We take him out. The eye in the sky sees all. It'll be the end of him. So, don't worry about Michael. Michael needs to worry about Michael. Weird Bottle mentioned to both Sal and myself and to Brom is what's the defenses for the Arbor ready? That wasn't a throwaway comment. I told you that he had a month left. He doesn't have that long.
Okay.
Sal knows it.
At this point, I feel like I'd have no other choice than to just trust you, because if I don't trust you, I am going to lose my mind and possibly my life. So, Linrich, I'm on your side, and I'm just going to do everything that I can to make the best damn drugs that this person's ever seen.
Doc, I love that, and I can guarantee you this, that if it comes down to it, they're going to have to tear through me before they get to you. I'll buy as much time as I can. That's not going to happen. Let's not worry about that. Just if it's a worst case scenario, they're going to have to go through me. All right? I'm 100% invested in your endeavor to drugify the City of Splendors. 100%.
Fantastic. See, that's 100%. All I needed to hear. All I needed. And yeah, I think our heart is in the right place.
I agree.
Oh, God. Okay. So, when do we get our, when are we going to start?
Sal's sort of gestures to the lab, and it's like,
we're gonna need the supply. We're waiting for the delivery.
Actually, all of the stuff that you'd need has been set up already, pretty much. So, they'd have set that up for you by the time you got over that side of town.
They're right there.
The one thing you would need is just labor. That's what you're missing right now.
Mm-hmm. The only thing is that we don't even really have a solid formula yet. We haven't even made a test. So I think before Ramsey hired anybody or brought anybody else in, she'd want to see if she can make it first of all, because she hasn't even tried.
So I think you're probably going to need several hours, maybe days, to finish that.
And Doc, I'll help you any way I can. Anything with magic? I think maybe magic's the avenue to start with, because I've got the book knowledge. I could help you. If you want to make a you drink something and you can use the light spell or something like that. I think that's a good way to start because we can combine knowledge. We can do knowledge things.
I do think that's a good way to start. And you just gave me an idea that we could take this even further and have different doses. We could have one for simple tricks, simple, flashy, stage flair, and take you up a notch. Of course, that costs more. Because with someone else getting 80% of the profits, we're going to need to make a lot more money than we originally thought.
Sounds beautiful.
And quick.
So we should get started, because I haven't even figured out if I actually can do this yet, although I do have full confidence in my ability to do so.
Well, whether or not you can, you will have to.
Exactly.
She can.
She will. Not right.
That's right. But the
Good.
sooner the better, then.
Sooner the better. Now, why don't I could help you if you like. If you don't add the addictive flower, I'll test it for you.
Perfect.
But I'm gonna go get a drink. Anyone care to join me?
I'll come
You
with
don't
you.
drink, do you? Flynn would turn to Drexel. You don't drink, do you?
No. I could go to a bar. It's
You
always
want
good
to do
to fight
something
there.
else?
What do you even mind?
Well, just running around on the rooftops.
No, you can do that.
I'll get a drink with you, Brom.
Not a boy, Sal. Not a boy. Well, grab your coat. I'm heading out.
You see that he's actually more confident than he has been in a while. He still may be confused with what's going on, but now this is more of his element. The business side of the crime is really, he owned a business, his fence and his ship being his business for a while, and his smuggling and his import and export was always his front for his fence. So he's starting to gain a bit of his swagger back, and that's only through the events of with you guys. So as he goes to make his way towards the door, he knocks on the door, the side of the door, and then kind of leans up against it and waits for you, Sal.
Yeah, Sal actually is looking a little bit probably less confident, as this is the Arboretti's and the restaurant was his life for 45 years, and to find himself here, while it certainly is it's better than how he's being treated with the Arboretti's, but there's still that feeling of betrayal in his heart that he has walked away. But the more he thinks about Michael, the more he, his loyalty is, Arcanus is where his mind is. Michael, Arcanus and Ruby is what Sal is bracing himself for. But as we walk out, I sort of put my hand up on Brom's shoulder and just, let's go someplace local. Bet we can. The Zens always had great trust in the Tabaxi. I bet we could find some. Pretty much all you need to know about one just by finding out the name.
I've heard a name of a man named...
And as
What?
doesn't
Sorry?
like to sleep.
I've got words for a man named Merc. Kind of wish to hear what he has to say.
Moneylet.
Aye, that be him.
As you'd say.
Look around, Sal. What do we have to hide behind besides a rutty old warehouse? Nothing.
As you would say, There be treacherous waters there, friend.
Yeah,
Well,
I would.
good to have friends when you're heading into treacherous waters, I always say.
Hmm.
Go shake hands with Mert.
Don't sound
tongue
so
around it.
nervous.
He's grown to great power, but yeah, he'd sell you his child for a few coin and a chance to tell another one of his great tales of his exploits. But we can see what he has to say. We're already in for 2 sharks in this water. Why not make it 3?
All right then.
Perfect.
So, who's going to the tavern tonight? Just Turntides and Sal. Yep.
Yeah, I think we're heading to Mertz.
And
Yeah,
all right, and
in the
Flimrich.
lab.
Yeah, you're gonna be in a lab, and Flimrich and Drexel are gonna take a walk on the rooftops.
Yep.
Split the party.
I like the sound of it already.
We can share the
So
bar. It's fine.
yeah. Okay.
Could be an
let's
alternate
go. Let's go with Sal and Turntides first of all. So Mert lives on the nice side of town, and his place is typically invite only to his like great feasts and balls. So you'd find yourselves outside this great sort of guarded palace, which looks to be having a party on inside right now, like the big sounds of partying and music and feasting from inside. The clientele going in look like you. I mean, they are adventurers who seem to be going in, looking to, or want to be adventurers, looking to prove themselves to Mert. However, they don't look like they're very well equipped or trained. Part of your demographic is these sorts of people who would like to be heroes. So there's quite a few, wannabe adventurers heading inside.
Exactly.
Is there someone sort of checking invites at the door type idea?
Absolutely, yeah.
I will. I'll approach, and go. Well, we have a treat for you tonight. Well, the story. Mert always wants to hear the stories.
Do you have an invitation, sir?
Got better than an invitation. I've got the story that everyone's been wanting to hear for 10 years. And presents Turntides Bromley back on the Crimson Serpent.
He looks up and down for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Bring any of your old boys out.
Yeah. He's gonna... You roll me a persuasion check here, Sal. You give me advantage because you do have someone that looks just like Captain Bromley in the Captain Bromley.
Yeah, and then it's actually Captain Bromley. Persuasion. Ooh, that's a 17.
Awesome. Yeah, he kind of looks him up and down and is like, all right then. Very well, you can come inside at least for a little bit, but if Mert sends you out, then there's nothing I can do.
Only for a little, that's all we ask.
Very well. He nods and kind of lets you in, and pretty soon you guys are sent inside this great banquet and feasting hall with adventuring types carousing. There are plenty of bards in here who are all trying to outperform one another. There are magicians who are out trying to out-magic one another with various different spells and conjurings, most of which are nothing more than hand magic or petty magic. There are no great magicians in here, clearly. There's even an archery range in which, they're trying to... There's a contest going on right now in the center of all of this, at the feasting table, is the man who you'd recognize to be Mert, if not by having seen him before, but at least by reputation. He's one of the most famous adventurers of all time, if you were to believe the stories. And he's grown fat with that wealth. He wears this fantastic, noble sort of outfit with fine sort of silks, wears a lot of jewelry on his fingers, and this kind of very fancy feathered hat. He hasn't seemed to notice you come in, but he's currently shouting at the archers. He's like, "Oh, very good! You should have seen me shoot like that back in my day." And he begins to smoke a fat cigar, and he's drinking a lot of port and wine.
Perfect.
I would think that Sal probably has a voice that carries when it needs to from back in his days of enforcement.
Oh.
And how many days are we away? We're just like this is like yesterdays when the Crimson Sermon came in, correct? We're just like 24 hours or 48 hours.
Yeah, it's like 48 hours release since the Crimson Sermon came in, yeah.
So Sal sort of clears his throat a little bit, not being right up next to Mert. I don't want it to seem like we're telling this to Mert, but as it seems like this is a very presentational crowd, as though we're telling it to other people and maybe upstaging others. And Sal Diore, with his newfound power, slices his finger on his glaive, this big 9-foot-tall glaive, lighting up with lightning, and goosh on the ground with a loud boom. Gather round, gather round. The Storm Lords have delivered to us Waterdeep's long-lost son, the mystery, left for a decade without answers. I give you Turntides Bromley, back from the watery depths, or the Crimson Serpent that now sits out in the harbor to tell the tale that we've waited all these years. And I have the lightning is flashing up and down the glaive, sort of do this and sort of usher him in. I sort of swing it around to open up a big circle for him and usher Bromley in.
Yeah, there's a kind of ooh from the crowd as there's like, a real adventurous here, sort of talking. There are others who are kind of like turning up their noses. That's awfully rude.
See the mark of the sea that has left on him from all those years.
Hello, everyone. Greetings, Waterdeep. I've missed you. I have.
Mert, looks up as everyone's kind of turned from his drink. Is like, who the devil is this man? I don't remember inviting you.
Well, sir, I hear you like a good story. Or we are simply here to listen to yours if you so wish. But the name is Captain Turntides Bromley. Now, do you know of such? If you don't, then I will beg my leave, or I shall at least listen to something you have to say.
Aren't you one of those rapscallion pirates who have been plaguing this coast? The exact kind that I defeated decades ago in my time aboard the fantastic monkey ship. And with that crew, we defeated many a pirate in our time, my friend. Are you not that dread pirate whom I defeated several times before in my glorious career?
The contrary. If I was the dread pirate who you've defeated, then I would not be standing here in front of you. I am not a pirate, my friend, though I may speak of the sea, and I do have friends upon the waves, yes, but that is only because of the safety and the import and export of this fine city. You see, the wares we have and the coin we have in our pocket are only because of the simple trades that us simple seamen would make.
Yes, he makes another bow.
Now, I of the sea have many a tale, and I hear only of the gold that is ushered from your tongue, my friend, and I do wish to hear and listen to the song of your story, if you do so wish, as long as you are to hear mine.
If you have a tale to tell, then get along and tell it.
Please, you first, sir. I am not worthy of telling my tale before you, my friend. I am so eager to hear what they have done.
And well said. Well, your presence here reminds me of that time when I was aboard many great monkey ships of Waterdeep. Yes, here we are here today. Perhaps few of you will remember that 20 years to the day I was sailing out along the whalebones when I happened upon a group of sirens, this beautiful, luscious woman who immediately took to me as I was back then, as some would say I am still now, a very handsome young man, an adventurer, not unlike some perhaps who are here today. The sirens, they sang to me. They called out with their cries of, Mert, Mert, come to us. Show us your greatness. Show us your big scimitar. And so I found myself trapped between two great things, knowing that my scimitar was indeed large and vicious when it needed to be, and yet knowing that these siren creatures were foul, despite their beautiful nature, and had been the source of many a seafarer's death out here along the whales. So I did what any other man would do. I went aboard their island and planted my flag aboard their lands. After I had shown them my scimitar, I showed it to them with a lust and a vengeance that I had only to speak of in my early 20s. They were defeated as I slew them after my great lovemaking to them, for I knew that there were none other who could withstand the fury of such creatures. They would never harm another honest seaman again. And so that was my tale, my friend. Perhaps you have one that you would like to share with us. There's a big sort of round of applause by all of the people in here. Like, it's just fantastic. He doesn't indeed seem to be wielding like an oversized scimitar on his hip, which looks to be like very awkwardly sort of positioned because he's sitting down with like a huge sword on his lap. And he invites you to tell your story, Captain Santence.
How many people are watching us?
Oh, there's maybe like 50 in here.
Fuck. All right. All right. So. Turntides was not expecting a show for this tale. He expected to simply just share a drink with him.
Very well.
Sorry.
So,
all right.
Which of the tales would you like? I have plenty, but not. I simply cannot. I do not have a tale as exquisite and as lustful as yours.
Just choose your best one and get on with it, man. Plenty more to tell.
Yes, very well. Very good, and then I will make this quick, because I do wish to hear that, and I do wish to share a drink with you. Now, my tale starts off in the high seas. You see, there where I was with the Crimson Serpent. The winds were whipping and roaring, and you see, all of the crew were doing their best to keep all the sails in line as we tried to get ourselves out of the eye. Actually, to try to get into the eye of the storm so we can ride that with the storm back to Waterdeep here. And you see, it was then that we knew that we were not in an eye of any sort of storm. No, it was in fact the dark magics of what we knew as what I believe the common folk call an aboleth. You know of what I speak? You know of this creature of psychic energy, yes?
Right.
Yes. Yes, the storm was called up, they say, by the mere fear, the anxiety and the stress of the crew that we were aboard. And the more it rained, the more the winds blew our ship in the wrong direction, the more we were frazzled, and the worse the storm got. You see, but once we found the eye, no, it was no eye of no storm. No, it was in fact the safe haven. It was where the aboleth lived, and that is where we struck. We tried our best. We would hoist the mainsail, we would grab the anchor, and we would try to drop it into the eye of the aboleth. But you see, it was to no avail. We missed, my friend, and that only angered the aboleth. You see. And it was then when we saw tentacles that wrapped around the inside of our what you call our boat there, inside the cannon ports, and ripped our cannon straight from the hull there. Yes, I swear at one point, so some of our crew went, and even our sails was hitting the sea, because it turned us sideways there. Now, this would go on for a bit longer here, but then nothing. Can't quite remember what happened after that. But I do remember being here. And I do know this being a tale I wish to speak to you. Do you know of what I speak? Do you know of what happened? Being of your wisdom and your knowledge of such creatures, Merc.
Well, a great many things could have happened. Such creatures, they are perplexing and difficult to understand for the uninitiated adventurers such as yourself, but perhaps spend some more time here, friend. Learn from Mert, the adventurer. Perhaps you too will come to understand yourself a little bit better. A very fine tale.
I'll drink to that.
Very fine. Yeah, he goes.
Thank you.
Slurps at his drinks. Come, take a seat, my boy. And you're clearly like old.
Yeah, and I look over towards Sal and I wink and I kind of go and sit down next to him.
Yeah, while Bromley's been doing that, I've been scoping the crowd, trying to spot marks. Spot who are the kids out here who are hook, line, and sinker for these stories. Who are the kids who are the ones who are going to do anything,
bite,
to become an adventurer?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's plenty of them here. There's like a group, like a huddle about 10 or so who look to be kind of students, who are all sort of talking in like excited whispers about Mert and his great adventures, and they've actually bought merch from Mert, which is basically his like animated storybook, which is animated by magic, and you see the great many deeds of adventures and lovemaking that Mert has been upon over the course of his glorious career.
So there's always sort of a leader of that, that sort of group of students. Where's the kid? Where's the kid watching them?
Mm.
That's who I want. I want the one who's not the leader of that group of kids. I want the kid who wishes he was a part of that group. Sal's eye now goes from, okay, here's this group of kids with the merch, the popular kids. Where's the kid who's watching? Where's the one leaning against the corner with that look?
Right. There's this younger looking girl who's a dragonborn with this sort of like little blue tusks, who seems to be sort of anxiously, like poking her head in every now and again, clearly wanting to be a part of that group, but not able to make the entrance due to, some kind of social anxiety, probably.
I slowly sort of approach and this girl and just sort of she's smaller, larger, look like a magic user, look like someone might be does she have like melee type weapons on her?
She has like a little dagger on her hip, and like a pouch of probably like ingredients for spells.
Okay. And so he just sort of, as he wanders by, sort of offhand comment, sort of, always with their swords, thinking that they're the hero.
She looks over at you, and you're like, kind of older and big and
yeah.
gnarly, and clearly like not a student. She's like, yeah. Hey.
I can tell you, wielded a sword for 40 years. The heroes. One with smarts looks at her. One with knowledge.
Yeah, that's what my boyfriend says too.
How's this training coming along?
Oh, good. A little bit here and there. My boyfriend teaches me. He's always around. He's around here somewhere, actually.
She lying? I'm assuming she's lying. She thinking
she's like, is this guy hitting on me? Starting with always with the big swords, huh? She's like,
Well, I mean, I'm trying to make his tone be very sort of condescending, but towards especially Mert with his big scimitar. But right. He's like, as she says, boyfriend, he goes, he sort of smiles and he goes, no, not that. That's not what I'm looking for. You really want to be an adventurer?
Yeah, I mean, more than anything. Are you like a teacher or something?
I've taught many over the years.
Cool. Do you have like a school or a guild or something I could apply for?
I sort of
an internship?
Point and I go, not for the ones looking into magic, but we do have putting together a little apprenticeship, I would say. Sort of a work-study program.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. Do I have to pay to get in? Is there like fees? Because I'm already in quite a lot of debt.
Work-study. Just have to put in a good day of work, and you'll get training or edge all the training or edge you'll ever need.
That sounds really good. What's the name of the school?
Down by the docks. Like I say, that's where the work happens. Just ask for the wild cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that. I guess. It's not like it's legit, right?
Of course. Reputable.
Okay, great. Then I'll head down there tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Okay, well, if I need anything, do I need like a application form, or like is there an interview process?
And I look at it and go, you just had it. And I sort of shake her hand. You've passed.
Oh, wow. She's like super impressed by that. And sort of gushes and like, great, I'll be down there the first thing this morning. What should I didn't catch your name.
Sal Diore.
Sal. All right.
You'll be looking for Nala. Ramsey. Nala, it's nice to meet you. You'll be looking for Ramsey. She'll put you right to work.
Okay. She like kind of scurries off, excusing herself from Mert's party, realizing that she's probably got what she came here looking for, which was an unpaid internship.
Yep.
Oh, feels 2018, man. Yeah, you. What is Turntide?
Pay them an exposure.
Yeah, hashtag fully exposure. Turntide, you're having a chat with Mert right now, and he's sort of taking you into his like private little circle. There's a couple of other sycophants here who appear to be like just yes men, like just agree with everything he says. Like yes, Mert, you're incredible, Mert. That kind of.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. I sip whatever's put in front of me. Hopefully it's drinkable. And I bring up the siren story again.
Mert, you did mention sirens in that last tale you had there.
I did. Certainly.
There's not many a man who could turn down such a siren. Hmm? Wouldn't you agree?
True enough, the powers of the feminine charm have little effect upon me. I've been once around the globe, if you know what I mean.
Right, right. That's yes. I wasn't merely implying that you were of a weak mind, not at all. I was just trying to make some conversation. You see, here I'm a bit of a businessman and have been for quite some time. And now that I'm back on my feet and back here in the city, I wish to, get some of that money flowing again. And I'm not saying here for me, but I know how everything works, and I've heard also from the many tales, not from you, but from others, that you also have a bit of a lender for good ideas and investor of such.
That's the money lender for a reason, friend. If I see a good idea,
Yes,
I invest in it. If I see a bad idea, I tell them. Sometimes I held 12-week-long competitions for one such apprentice, and at the end, I'll take one on. Invest in that business. The others I fire along the way.
Very well. Now, what I have here is I have a bit of a, not unlike your tale, a bit of a siren idea. Now, you see,
Siren.
What do you think of the crime in this city here?
Crime?
The scallywags, street
stuff,
thieves, things like
Lara Silverhand, she really is all over that stuff. It's not really my concern as such,
yes.
More her problem, if you know what I mean. I just sort of do a little bit here, a little bit there. I invest a lot in sugar. They call me Lord Sugar sometimes.
Very good. Well, you see, I have a bit of maybe a bit of a business opportunity for you, and also maybe a little bit of it keeps the streets safer. You hear now? I have a business proposition for you. A gambling den. Gambling den to attract the deadly hornets to a nest. This place will be called, what will it be? I was thinking maybe even the logo now, I was thinking maybe could be of a card. Maybe it would be like, I don't know, maybe a 7 of sirens. How about that? Would you like that? Because then it would be, of course, it would be a lot like your tale there. But nevertheless, we'll call it Wild Cards. It's a casino, you see, here in Waterdeep. For Waterdeep. It would attract all of the criminals and street gangs into one place. Now, the only thing is, of course, it's going to be a bit dangerous, isn't it? I didn't even think of that. But they have coin.
True.
Well,
true.
I guess
scallywags, they often plunder the well-earned, hard-earned coin of honest adventurers such as myself, and they've been known to steal such money as well from us. So, in a way, if we were to reclaim some of that funding from us honest earning folk, we would be, reclaiming the government's property in a way, wouldn't you say?
Exactly. We would be reclaiming Waterdeep. Yes. And for the people. And what if your name was tied to it? How would you like that? It would be pretty. That was a tale in itself right there.
I like the idea of that. I don't love it. You see, anything which can be tied directly back to me in investments, I like a strong independent brand to invest in, something which has some vision. Obviously, if I put my name to something, obviously it's going to make money. But what I like to see is up-and-comers such as yourself, young adventuring types around here, who have a little bit of something in them. Now, this kind of investment for setting up a gambling den, it seems dangerous indeed, which means that you'd need security for such a place and probably a permit from Lara Silverhand. Now, a permit I can see to if that's something that we would need, which I believe we would, but all of these things cost money, my friend, which throws up your overhead higher and higher. Now, gambling dens surely make a lot of money, but they are strictly regulated as well. Now, this venture is one that I immediately have taken a liking to, due to the nature of its name. solely that, but I would need to be convinced that you could run such a thing. Mr. Bromley, you may be a seaman of some renown, but this is a completely different game. An enterprise of business is far different than running a ship with aboleths attacking you. Now you need to know hiring good staff. Do you even know the industry at all, etc., etc.?
Do I know the industry? I don't think I told you a tale of my gambling, have I? I don't think
you're a gambler, Mr. Turntides.
Well, I tell you, Mr. Merc, every time I set out on those seas was a gamble. Let me tell you, going out to some sort of uncharted land to pick up some sort of something and bring it back here with an unknown foreign country, so we could then, of course, sell it here on the street. I think that's a bit of a gamble, my friend. And of course, you have days, if not weeks or months out on the sea. What is there to do besides games, cards, dice? You see, you always have to be careful with what you have, or there's always one hand is always doing something to make sure you're not looking towards the other.
That is one of my sayings as well. One hand is always doing something. But let me think here, Mr. Bromley. Your enterprise running on this vessel of yours, having been a gambling man yourself, is a different business than running a legitimate gambling den in Waterdeep. You're going to be running into all sorts of competition because you're not the only gambling den in town, let me tell you that much, sir. There are many of them. Now, what would set yours apart? Because, well, already these vagabonds and wastrels find themselves attracted to such places. How would you draw them in?
How would one draw them in? Sir, I've been in many different towns and many different times. Every time I come back to Waterdeep, weeks away, I will come back and I will see a new business crop up. Now, a new business, new restaurant, new, just in general, new is the word here. That is what brings people in. Not necessarily a flashy sign, or a beautiful logo, or even a tale upon the inside of the walls. But just being new is enough to bring someone in, and I tell you, with what we have to show, games, die, cards, things like that as well, we will keep them coming back. Especially if the house wins. And I'll tell you this much, Captain Bromley.
I'm not completely convinced just yet. But I think you have something in you which is likable and something worth investing in your future with Mert Enterprises here in Waterdeep. I certainly like to invest in such young talent in any way I can. I'm willing to take a small risk upon you, not a large investment. I will lease you the grounds for such a gambling den, and I will give you 1 week to set up everything up. If, after a week, you can turn me a profit, and when I arrive at the end of the week, you can show me that this business venture is something worth continuing, then I may very well do so, Mr. Bromley. How does that sound to you? Seems more than fair to me.
Seems very fair to me.
Very well. Now, we're going to need to set up a company for you so that you can trade under something other than your own name. I have some papers here to form an LLC. What is your company called? It's for tax purposes. We don't pay any. You just need to file them.
Wildcards will be the company name.
Wildcards, I see. He sets up this gambling organization as a Wildcards, gives it to you to sign, signs it himself, this agreement that he's going to lease you this for a week. And if you turn the profit, great. If not, then consequences. Legal consequences.
Good.
Financial consequences.
The only person who signs is me. That's the good news.
Yeah. It's your name on the
also the bad
contract. Yeah, that's also the bad thing. So he signs away this lease, which to him is probably nothing, but to you is a small loan of a gambling den.
A week, you said?
Yeah, a week. You got a week to staff this thing, turn this thing around. Yep. to turn this thing around.
Great.
If it's a profit, great. If it's not a profit by the end of it, then bad news.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Yeah, he gives you this property. It's not so far away from your your base of operations, but it's far enough away, to be maybe like an hour's walk. You could travel there via mount quicker. But it's in the city, in that no man's land sort of district, where neither of the gangs sort of own at this point. So,
perfect.
Gives you the address of this property and tells you to check it out. The loan probably has like a couple of 100 gold pieces in order to hire staff for the week.
Right.
So that money will probably just go directly into the staff and whatever else you need for that. And
Perfect.
He kind of moves on to his next business proposals that he's hearing from other young adventurers.
That's all I wanted to do here. So that.
All right.
I'm good here. If we want to move on to anybody else. Or
Yeah.
like
Let's jump over to Drexel and Flinrich. We'll get to Ramsey in a minute. So Flinrich and Drexel, what are you guys doing?
Flynn would have taken to the rooftops here in the dock ward, and he's not like he's waiting around for Drexel at all, but he's not going too far away from where Ramses is. He doesn't want to leave the doctor alone in the warehouse, but what he's doing is kind of working out like a concentric circle, using just the rooftops and running around the rooftops to kind of get a lay of the upper level, much like he's noting as he goes through the streets, like sewer grates, manhole cover, noting all the potential subterranean access within like a 3 to 4 block radius of them. But the number one thing he's doing is he is leaving Thieves' Cant messages for the Black Viper.
Ooh. Gotta light that candle.
What messages are you going to be leaving around?
Basically, they're going to be different. That's What up? Want to hang? No, it just says,
What up?
Like money, crime, more of one, less of the other.
All right, you and Drexel have a run around on the rooftop for a couple of hours, leaving these messages. They're relatively sort of empty. Occasionally, you'll see like a thief or a scoundrel who's also stalking up here, probably a burglar of some kind, just like nicking stuff from people around here. Because you're going up pretty late, but like it's one of those like uneasy, the two ships pass one another, and no one really interrupts anything that's going on. Is someone looks up nervously of the bag over their shoulder. As they're exiting the window, like, are you okay? We're cool. Like, just slowly back away from each other as you guys do it. Like, we didn't see each other. You guys probably meet back up with Ramsey as Turntides and Sour are probably going to leave, headed back, I'm assuming, at some point from Mert's place after having this
look around
conversation.
for some other, other potential,
dealers,
other potential interns,
car dealers,
Intern.
and
Yes.
yeah, I mean, if I don't know,
you can pretty round up another 2 or 3 kids, right? Who are who are interested.
Yeah,
In this work study.
Work study. Would Bromley have told me his whole casino piece or not?
Yes.
Or are you keeping that to yourself?
Yeah, he tells you like he's super happy and confident that this is the best idea in the world. He's like, hey, we already signed off on wild cards. It's now our business. We have to do something with it. So he mentions that
brand,
he
man.
just got.
Think about the brand.
Well,
Yeah, he
so
just-
in
This
that
will be
case,
our
I would
exactly
also-
it.
casino.
Exactly.
I would switch from
a legal
for
casino.
from the kid on the smart kid on the outside. We gotta find at least one shady kid who can be a dealer. Who can play, who knows how to cheat at cards.
This place is rife. We don't have to roleplay for all of it, but you're going to find like a kid who's pretty shady, or like
Perfect.
just clearly in this full of money, and probably a couple of other youthful, bright-eyed adventurer wannabes who are going to be there tomorrow for like the roll call because their parents want them to be.
So
on your way back, you probably can, start
a pretty
talking
good
about
diverse adventure party. A nice first level party that we can put.
Right.
Another first level party.
Yeah. But for our our first level party. Yeah, we like level 3 yet.
Right. So Ramsey, you've been working on production. What I'd like you to do is probably like a nature check and then an arcana check.
Okay.
You both let an advantage because you are an alchemist. This is your job.
All right, let me just type this in. Okay, so there's 1. That's a 12. Let's do it again. And that's a 9. So not great on the nature. Not so hot.
Perfect.
Not huge on the nature, but all right. Then roll the arcana check. That's more like
a 19.
Okay.
And an 8. Okay, so it's 19.
19 and 12.
I'm magical and I hate trees.
So after it's probably been like 4 hours since the party have left. You've like sorted out and organized a lab how you like it to be ordered, and you've started to think about the formula, refining it down. And you have, by at least 4 hours, a very rough version. Probably, what kind of form does this end up in? Is like a powder form, a liquid form, or something else?
Let's do. I envision a liquid. That's what I envision.
So, what kind of color liquid do you reckon that you end with?
Like a dark, almost black, but if it was thinned out, blue.
Cool. So you have this almost like orc blood inky sort of inky black tentacle kind of like vial at the end of this. Now it's like you haven't tested this on anyone, so like your testing is like, I'm pretty sure this works, like probably this is the basis for something, but it's like this could have really bad side effects if I just like chug this right now. So like you want some kind of subject, some kind of test aside from just like your usual test that you can do in here, for obvious reasons. But it's about this time as you like have finished and you throw your goggles up from the 4 hours of work of intense scrutiny on this formula that the team will return. Turntides and Sal having gone from Mert's place, and Flinrich and Drexel from having run around on the rooftops for a couple of hours.
So one thing I wanted to say though is that like this is incredibly stressful. It's a lot on Ramsey to take in. It's a complete change in lifestyle in like a matter of days. So she's like used to working in a hospital, like whereas her morals might be gray, like she still has just been working in a hospital doing her job, whether she likes it or not is here or there. This is a complete 180 from where she has been. So she's definitely used some of this time to just process, and I definitely imagine a tiny breakdown in there, like when she hears people's footsteps coming, like she'll dry her eyes, and instead of taking her goggles off, she'll put them on so you don't see that her eyes are puffy, and she can like maintain the facade she's trying to have during this whole experience. That's all.
All right, so you guys sort of bowl in and see a pretty stressed out looking Ramsey with a vial in her hand.
You doing all right there, Ramsey?
Yes. So I've made some progress. I have a very, very rough, unrefined, untested version of what we're looking for.
Give it here.
I'm not sure. I mean, I didn't put any addictive ingredients into it, but I have no idea what the side effects might be.
Perfect.
Rom, I don't think this is a good idea. This is extremely experimental medicine. We might need to find something.
What else are we going to test it on here?
There's like a thief running
We don't have
around on
much
the roof.
time.
I could just go, like, I don't know, tackle one of them. They're about. Force feed it to him. Or one of us could drink it.
She takes a deep breath and stands up and hands it over to Brom and says, only a tiny, tiny sip. Actually, and takes the cap off, and it's like a tiny, tiny cap, and she like fills it up just halfway. And she's like, "This is what I think is a fourth of an actual size that you might need, but just
An
in
actual
case."
recommended serving.
An actual recommended
Right.
dosage.
Right. So what am I expecting here? What are we looking for? What am I going to be getting here? Am I going to be breathing fire? Am I going to fly? What are we happening here? Could I walk on water?
That's another thing. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to react with every individual and their genetic makeup. So, what I
Yeah, you got so much
envision-
variance.
yeah, what I have concocted is what I think will enhance abilities that you already have. So, if you have a knack for burning things, if you have an interest in fire, if you are typically a very strong person, if you've got a talent of some sort, just that's what I think it will do.
Maybe you should sit down before you drink this, so in case you like pass out or something, you don't crack your skull.
That is also a very good point. Brom, if you could give me
you're
a
making me
rundown
nervous.
I'm sorry. I just for testing purposes, if you could just give me a rundown now of what your strengths are to see if they are impacted. I just want you to give them to me now, just in case your brain is fried. But we can still test your magic. We can know what to look for. Not that I think your brain is
That's
going to
the
fry. I
thing.
think you're going to be absolutely fine. But I want to have all the information I need for my hypothesis.
Try and make sure you don't die. Kind of like pat him on the back.
Now, I've been out for 10 years. I don't know what I'm good at anymore.
Well, I guess this is how we're going to find out.
All right. Well,
And I kind of like look around at everybody, holding the tiny cap of this vial.
I roll kick a barrel over so it's like right underneath him so he can sit down on it.
Right.
Oh,
Stand
yeah,
behind
I
him,
went to sit
ready
down.
to
sorry.
catch,
Yeah.
just in case.
Salud, my friend.
Oh Lord.
hello.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage, Captain Bromley.
At disadvantage. All right.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Okay, so whoops, that's a regular. So that's going to be that's a 17, and
Okay.
this one is a
Nice.
17.
Pretty damn good. Roll me a D100.
Oh,
My heart is beating so fast.
it's wild magic.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
$45.
Roll me a
Captain Bromley begins
D10,000.
to levitate off the ground. It's about like 2 feet up. He kind of like begins to hover and go up from the chair, and he's levitating
Oh.
himself all the way up there. It lasts for about 10 seconds as Ramsey probably taking down
I
like
burp.
detailed notes of what's happening. Yeah, and then Captain Bromley simultaneously vomits, and the levitate goes away, and he falls down onto the
Can I
chair
catch
from
him?
me snapping and breaking it. Sure, yeah.
Thank God. I
He's
almost hit the
vomiting
fan blades.
on you. Yes.
That's
Um,
not the first time I've been vomited on.
For a moment there, that worked. And he certainly hasn't died. He's just vomited it back up, basically. And if he'd been able to keep it
That
down,
was-
you think that would run through his system much
Right.
more, and that would have kept going. But like the immediate reaction is like gag, because you can't like down this toxic substance in your body. So like, "Ugh, get it out. So Ramsey, your solution is to like make it in like a more edible, consumable form, which is less toxic, and reduce some of the toxins within it. So like you immediately go to like changing the recipe a little bit here and a little bit there, but it showed some pretty good results.
It needs to be like further purified and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so she's like writing
and
it
a lot
down.
of that would be the addictive substances as well, to like make it an addictive drug would make it like easier to be consumed.
A little bit easier to stay.
Yeah. So she like immediately comes over to Bromley. Like she like goes like hard doctor mode. She takes a sample of his vomit and like puts it like over in like a vial over on the table, and she's like looking into his eyes and like holding his head up by his chin and like snapping and putting like light into his eyes to see if like his pupils are dilating. And she's like, how do you feel now?
I thought you were joking about. I was joking about the sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry about the flying. I wasn't serious.
Okay. So I think what I've gathered here is it needs to be further purified, and also with the addition of the addictive substances, it can make a very sickening substance seem much more appealing. So I'll tinker around with it a little bit more, but we're definitely in the right direction.
The entire time, Flinrich's eyes did not leave the doctor. As soon as he saw what became of Brom, his eyes immediately shot back to the doc. And as soon as she would say that she's figured out a couple of these things, he whispers loud enough for everyone to hear, "You did it."
She's like smiling and sort of basking in it, and she's like, well, not quite. There's a little bit more to be done, but on a basic level, it's done.
Cool. I'm going to just jump in the ocean for a minute or something and clean up. I'll be back.
Before you go, drink some. I think everyone...
Yes.
Flinrich,
good news and bad news. Flinrich, did you have something to say?
I was just going to say, Flinrich is so taken aback by what just happened. Whenever she says that, when Drexel says she's going to go clean herself off, his hand errantly moves to cast prestidigitation, and he stops himself and pulls his hand down.
Rough.
So, good news and bad news. Good news here, we have a front.
Oh, good.
Wild Cards is a business. It is a gambling den northeast of here, not too far. The bad news is we need to hire staff and we got to turn profit by next week. And when I say we, I mean me. It's my head, if we can't.
Ramsey just like sits in a chair and like puts her hands.
Now I know what you're thinking. This could be a bit stressful for us, but this is the only way that the paper trail we have already created with Weird Bottle will actually make any sense for us. We've already started a business. Now, if we don't have a business to back up the business that we just created, we're not going to be able to ever prove that in any sort of judicial system. But the good news is we have Mert helping back us. Now, Mert also is an advisor, from what I have heard, to Silverhand, which is a wonderful way of keeping them off our back. So this needs to go through. And we need to keep him on our side.
Sal looks at Ramsey, the non-addictive type. Why don't we tip heavily regulated gambling, legal ones at least? Doesn't mean that we can't tip the table in favor of the house a little further. What if all of our dealers
I'm already there with you.
are enhanced my dear Dr. Ramsey.
You think you could make speed and quickness and
Dexterity, sleight
nimbility?
of hand.
Yeah, that's what we're talking here. You think you could make that one and not quite focus on the flying yet? Sorry, Flinny.
Yeah, Doc, it's definitely possible. It's like right now you've got this like super prototype version of this one thing that you have no idea how to regulate or to like figure out. This could take you weeks, like figure out this one thing. You know, you would need a much more. You'd probably need like an apprentice at least, on hand, along with like the basic labor. So like you're starting to increase your, your like back end production if you wanted to start making some other stuff. You certainly have the means to do it here, but it's also not covered in your supply deal with the Zentarim.
Here's what I'm thinking now. I do think that all of this is possible. I think that there can be many different strains and many different strengths of this. But on my own, and with the supply we currently have, it's going to take me weeks, even months, to be able to just perfect this one, and then to be able to diversify it into different strains is going to take even longer, unless I can find someone with a knack that I have. Now, again, I don't know much about this world. I'm not going to do anything that would jeopardize it or that the whole group is not in favor of. But if we're already working with Weird Bottle, and he does have knowledge about this, he already asserted that he thinks he could do it better, why not let him try and prove that? Because I need help if I'm going to do this as fast as we need it. He already knows everything. He already knows all the ingredients. Minus a few. I didn't give him a full list. I'm not crazy. But, he's already profiting off of it as well. I just, again, not that I'm an expert, but I think we need to keep our circle as small as possible.
Something that maybe, the more experienced criminals in our party would think of is that you also don't have the infrastructure for pushing this stuff yet. So you haven't made your product yet, and you also don't have the drug dealers to push it. So you need you got a couple of students who are coming tomorrow, but like if you're talking about getting over Waterdeep, you're talking about like setting up a lot of meetings with the kinds of people who might want to sell this for some kind of cut. Which is the one of the next stages of like your production line is like getting it out and then getting the money from them. So there's a couple of stages that I'm imagining the Sal's and the Flinriches and the Bromleys are probably thinking of, and probably Drexel as well, who has been through the Nicoletta Lucian family, maybe a bit more familiar with. This is fun because it's like actually running a business and like all the it is. Like, oh man, but then our overheads. It's great.
Right.
Overhead.
That's great.
Flinrich kind of snaps out of it after he's just been staring at first the doctor and then the bottle of the dark blue ink. Limitless possibility going between his ears. All right, so we need to run a casino. We need to get these drugs out. Doc, just get it so someone can keep it down. That's all we need right now. Just get it so they can keep it down. Lace it with whatever it takes to get them to keep it down. Make it as sweet as syrup. That's all we need. We can do that and cut it with sugar, whatever it takes. Now, for a casino, all you need to do is you got to rig it. We got to get some people in there to work it.
Of course. Of course.
Our biggest problem is this.
Yeah.
They're going to be coming now. The splash is hit. I sort of lied a bit to when we were over at Weird Bottles. Mike's coming. And we need to be ready for it.
So we need to also hire those Braden Dares. Yeah.
Well, don't forget, Ramsey lifts up the bottle and she says, we've got a little bit of an edge, if it ever comes to that.
It's true.
Flinrich looks around. The doc don't get left alone no more. Ever.
Aye.
Yeah, Ramsey is Walter White right now. Like, you know.
Yeah.
She's the brains operation. Yeah. So you also
Right.
need to hire those guards. You have the
Security.
cash, but you did leave the dock alone for a couple of hours there.
Security first.
And you, yeah.
And we'll work on setting up the casino. The dock's going to need a couple of days to refine this. And then as soon as it gets refined, that's when we'll need to start multiplying it, dispersing it. I think the casino is going to have the most upfront setup, but guards first.
We got to go together to get them.
Won't you
It's
do
going to take
that?
us all, and we can't leave the dock.
I'll stay. I'll stay with the dock. It's not a big deal. I should probably get some rest anyway.
I think we need the dock. We're going to go talk to the drow. It's going to be nice to have the dock with us.
Oh, Doc with us. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I thought you were saying. Yeah,
All
fine.
right, well, let
let's
me
go
just
then.
go, like, jump in the ocean real quick. I'll be right back.
Sorry, I didn't mean to keep you there.
No, that's fine. I just sitting here with your puke on me. It's all good. She'll just
Blame the
walk
doctor.
out, jump out.
Blame
Whoosh,
the
come back
healer.
in.
Everyone does.
Yeah, she's not even gonna like bother drying off. She's gonna walk back in. She doesn't care. She's just like, it's just better now. Let's go.
Sal, what time tomorrow are the youngins coming by?
Yeah. They'll be here by 9. Some will be early. At least 3 will be
What
here
you-
as early. Probably will be here as early as 7.
What you plan on doing with them?
Put
What'd
them
you
to
promise
work.
them?
Work study.
Good. Very well. Hopefully they can cut a deck.
There's a couple I'm sure that we'll be able to. There's a few I think that might be quite promising for the doctor. And if they're not very promising, the doctor can make them promising.
This is like the Saldiori 11 that you're making right now.
Yeah.
Alrighty, cool. So is everyone headed? Most of us headed off now towards what we believe the Brigand. Yeah.
I don't see why not, right?
I think so.
Man, do
Oh, my God.
I want to meet them so bad, but I feel like I should probably. Someone should stay back with the product. I honestly,
Take it with
it's
us.
like
Right now the product is a vial, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we
And we've
take
got
we have
Wow.
very expensive, really
well, I was going to
expensive.
say we've
ingredients.
got Eye in the Sky watching the lab.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't. Did we pay? Do we have his protection
Nope.
in the
No,
deal?
there's no
No.
protection.
So yeah,
No.
he could just watch
So
us
someone
get
could come in
robbed.
and-
So I mean,
Right. You don't know if he has a way of contacting you if you're not here.
right. But if that
Right.
is a scrying orb, which Flinrich told us, then I just believe that he could see us at any point, 24 hours, anytime, and that's probably the best way to believe it. As far as turn tides things, but I don't know if he could stop any of the ingredients from being stolen. And also, let's say. Any of
busy.
like we've already yeah anything could be happening, so I don't know. I think I'll stay back as much as I want to meet Jarl Axel. I'll stay back, get some rest.
All right. Okay. So the captains staying back, and Sal, Flinrich, Drexel, and most importantly Ramsey are headed out to meet the Brigand.
Here's the thing: is what's Captain going to do by himself if people start coming in here? Let's let Flinrich
Get
and
killed.
Drexel take care of
Be a
it.
swashbuckler.
Let's
So Flinrich-
Still
Saldiori,
believes he can
let
fight.
Saldiori and Brom will stay behind.
Okay.
We went to what's it place? Let you guys.
Right. We also already had a scene, so yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. This isn't about getting. This is about staying alive. We are.
Well, I'm trying to keep the captain alive. I'm trying to keep the
That's
captain
true.
alive.
We do have to keep the captain alive.
Let's pack it.
You think we
up,
should all go?
out? We've got the drugs. If they come in here and ransack the place, we have the product. They can't make it again.
We'll go to Xanathar and get more. Because why not? Let's just get in bed with everyone.
Yeah, let's get everyone in.
I mean, we're going to a crack drow mercenary unit that's evil.
See, here's the problem: is that Will is in our heads, and it's like episode 4.
Yeah, that's.
Listen,
we're
in my head.
Like
I was gonna say, you know, the worst part is what we all don't know is he's gonna leave us at level 1 with no combats for the entire season, and we're just gonna be like, when is it?
It's coming. We know it's
When are
coming.
they coming?
It's like in the episode.
That's why I made a charming character.
They all fight, and Dwight
So
is
I
like,
will still have my ability.
"Well, it's fear." That's what this is. Sorry for all my office references.
The anticipation is.
We talk about metagaming and
Yeah. There we
Hey,
go.
all right.
what do you do when
How
your
to
players
get into
start
your players'
metagaming?
heads.
Yeah.
Oh, golly.
All
Kind
right,
of
well,
mind flash, the
Drexel,
answer.
Ramsey.
All right. I'm going to the drow people.
So are we all going, or is it just going to be the three of them?
Whatever you guys want.
Trying to make a decision.
I'm looking at Myth. Myth had strong feelings about staying with the product. If he's staying, I'm going to stay with him because I don't want him by himself. Sal wouldn't leave him by
I'll stay.
himself. I mean, he just wouldn't.
I'll stay.
Okay.
I mean, frankly, because Sal thinks he's the most valuable thing we've got.
Mm-hmm.
His brain is the most valuable.
Because he has been the most valuable thing for the past 10 years, yeah. For you.
Yeah. So
And
Sal
the family,
probably
yeah.
Sal wouldn't leave.
We got 2 people we can't leave alone.
Okay, so you guys have fun. Have fun storming
I
the
think we're
drow.
good, yeah.
All right, so Drexel, Flinrich, and Ramsey are free going. Sal and Captain Romney staying behind. All right, then.
This is where Greg gets rest. Look at him. Go get a stress candle. You'll be fine.
Go light a candle, Greg.
Go light a candle.
So
Everybody has a gift.
There we
Literally,
go.
everybody has a gift.
I'm super stress free here.
Oh my god, that is so
Very
funny.
relaxing for me, actually, just in general. So.
Oh, that is
Port
so
by the
funny.
ocean. Ah. Water deep.
Oh, yeah. How
You know,
topical.
pumpkin spice.
This is
This
the library
is-
scriptorium by
This one's
Cantrip
pumpkin
Candles.
pecan waffle. This one is waffle cone.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but I forgot I just spent all my money
Another
on
works
candles.
by Cantrip Candles. It actually does smell like
Oh, my
butter.
God.
Anyway, sorry.
Now,
So-
thank you for the break from our
Ooh, old
sponsor.
Delicious. Smells like sneakers. So
I feel like I'm there.
I feel like I'm wearing these shoes. It's great, but I'm wearing those shoes, but I can smell them. So, anyway, back to the topic at hand of your impending death by drow. You guys have heard the word that Breg and Daeth are working in a cave system, like a cove system, just by the coast, basically. So there are a series of caves that you've been pointed to by your contacts that if you're dumb enough to go in there, then and you better do so with some coin, then that's the place to go. Now, presumably you're going with that chest of gold. Is that the
Yeah.
case?
Yeah. I think we'd be dumb not to.
It sounds like way.
Oh yeah, like it's
everyone-
like an investment, you know.
Sure. So, so the three of you headed down. As you get towards this beach, you see a large, dark cave opening before you. This time it's night. There seems to be no signs of anyone around inside or out, with no footprints going in or out of this cave, despite the fact that there's a lot of sand in this area, which should be able to show footprints. Who is leading the way into this tunnel?
probably Drexel.
Okay.
Unless someone else wants the lead, it'd probably be Drexel.
It's got to be
I mean, I don't
Drexel
mind.
or it's gotta be Ramsey. Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't mind
Matriarchal
taking
society.
it since we're going to the drow. I don't mind.
Oh, all right. If you would like, I'll just back you up.
Yes, perfect. So good.
Okay. Well, then, let's go. Now
I'll
keep in
just
mind, Sarah, I've
like
been-
slip my silver iron knuckles on. All right. Good to
Yeah.
go. Then pull
Just,
the sleeves down.
I feel like it is important to recognize that, you know, I grew up in a very bad neighborhood, and I left there when I was very young to pursue medicine, and I have been the only one of my kind that I've associated with in years. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't want your hopes to be too high, because I have about as much experience dealing
I always
with
have my
my own.
expectations like down here. That way I'm never disappointed. So don't worry.
Fantastic, then. I just worry that they're not going to recognize me as
As a drow with your Mm-hmm. So you
you
definitely
know what I mean. It's deeper than skin.
I got this. How
community.
about we do this? Ramsey, how about Doc? You just go in and you glare. You glare at us, you glare at them, but you don't say a word. We're there to help
can't do
you.
that.
We work for you. And we're there to speak for you. And whenever we get in super bad trouble, that's when you come in and try to save us. But we're just there. We're gonna throw ourselves on their business acumen. That we are there to hire them. And
Okay.
them being drow and you being a drow, that was the mistress once drow, and we are here. Oh, God's help us all.
All right. Then.
Indeed. But I like the plan. Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
Game face.
You guys
sisters.
head inside the cavern with Ramsey leading the way, then Drexel and then Flynrich marching order as you guys step into the cavern. It immediately becomes dark inside, but your dark vision for each of you is enough to allow you to see in this next to no light and penetrate the gloom. The tunnel looks like it descends downwards for some time, Ramsey. In what manner or form are you approaching this?
I mean, I guess we're going with the plan that Flynrich has just laid out. In that, like, we'll go in with the persona that these are people that work for me and speak for me as I can ordain to do so. And
So you're not entering stealthily; it's just sort of like a confident walk in.
I was picturing a confident walk.
Yeah, right.
Why do you
we
look
ain't
like that?
trying to sneak up on mercenaries. That's a dumb idea.
On drow?
Yeah.
They saw us coming when we left the warehouse.
It's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drexel's gonna try to keep her eyes out for any like thieves' cant or anything on the walls.
You roll me a perception check.
Key. I have that skill. Somewhat. Okay. $16.
There is Thieves' Cant. It reads, "Turn back now."
Oh, great. Okay, I'm rolling this now just because didn't do so well, so whatever.
Drexel can point it out to
I'll
you.
point it out. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna point it out. It says turn back now.
I know what it says.
Oh, I'm just making sure you saw it. I don't know how you see in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, I keep going.
You press
Yeah.
onwards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna press onwards. Yeah, with one eye kind of closed.
Okay. So what is everyone's passive perceptions?
13.
14.
Yeah. 14.
Sure, good. Okay.
They're just
Yeah, you guys-
everywhere.
Suddenly you are a drow as well. No, you essentially you step downwards and you're walking for maybe another couple of minutes, searching the walls for any kind of more thieves' camp before you come into an open and empty-looking chamber. This chamber is circular and looks like it is an endpoint. And as you step inside it, looking around, suddenly there is impenetrable blackness around the group of you. Darkness, which the likes of which even your eyes with dark vision cannot penetrate. There are several blobs of darkness which open up around each of you, and you are unable to see. There's a voice which at times feels incredibly close, and at other times further away. Sometimes over your shoulder, another second they're right in front of you as if they're a feet away. Who are you fools to enter this hallowed place?
Customers.
Their voice seems to think about that for a second. You get a whiff of quite a garlicky breath as someone is like maybe like half a foot away from you.
Oh my god, it's someone who eats at our restaurant.
Very garlicky fettuccine.
Do we smell it? And
More
we're like,
customers.
the fettuccine.
That's why he had to think it was a customer.
Garlic breadsticks.
There's breadsticks anywhere. The voice says, customers. And what is the service that you are looking for, lost little lambs?
Protection.
We are here. Yeah. Come seeking wolves.
The voice sidles close to Ramsey. And yet, you claimed that this one would speak for you. Are you their mistress, their leader? Or are you their plaything, their slave?
I can assure you, I'm the head of this operation. I don't think anybody would ever question me about that.
You let your slave speak for you, however. This shows great weakness.
I think the opposite.
A voice kind of disappears and 1 second next is over your shoulder. Somehow between both you and Flinrich and Drexel are probably standing quite close to each other at this point. And what kind of protection do you need then, this new enterprise of yours? Who do you need protecting from, little lamb?
We're going down a different path. We're going to be encountering those we've never encountered before. And we're entangled in somewhat of a web, if you will. We need protection from those who might try and somehow inhibit the operation and halt our progress. Bring harm to us as we're trying to find our own success.
I see. Then noble is the cause of ye who come here, looking for protection from brigand death, and yet you fail to ask yourselves the question whether you are worthy of our protection. Let me pose that to you. Why should we help you?
Because none of my kind have ever helped me before. I'd like to at least know what it feels like.
There's a questioning sort of tone in the piqued interest of this voice. Tell me more. Are you an outcast or rebel?
Both. I grew up an entire outcast. Alone. And at a very young age, I set my sights on what I wanted. I wanted to gain my own power. Find my own success. Rise above those who spit on me when they thought that I was nothing. And I think I've done that with all the opportunities I've been given. And now here's the next step. but I can't do it by myself. I need people under me, and I need people around me.
A lost little lamb seeking a cause greater than her own. Interesting. Perhaps the master will be intrigued by your offer. And how much gold is it that you pay? How much do you think Brigandef is worth?
Open the case.
Drexel will just open it up. Like a suitcase.
Yeah, a suitcase of cash. And how many pieces of gold?
2,000.
2,000.
There's 2,000 in there. But of course, there's more where that came from.
That voice kind of dances away. You bring a pithy tithe to us, then. Lost lamb. But perhaps there is something in you that is intriguing to Brigandef. Who is it that our order would be fighting? We are not common street thugs.
And neither are we. I can't guarantee that I know all of the names of the people that have decided to make us their enemies. But some to look out for are the Arbalettis.
I have not heard this name whispered in these halls before. They do not seem, therefore, to be a worthy foe.
The Flayer.
The Zenith.
The Xanathar Guild are powerful, far more powerful than the pitiful defenses you have, perhaps stronger than Brigandef. The Xanathar has its tendrils in many different weaves of Waterdeep. But perhaps hiding your operation is possible. For more gold than that, and for a blood tithe, of course.
Well, then name your price.
You spoke of the Flayer, the creature which has enslaved our people. We will have it. You will give it to us if we agree to this operation.
Ramsey tries to look over at Flinridge and Drexel, but there's no eye contact to be made in this pool of darkness. And she says, if that's what it requires, then that's what we will do.
Very well, little lamb. Perhaps we will have an agreement yet, then. This service does not come free, however, and this paltry sample you have brought us, we would see 10 times its number. This is what Brigandef is worth.
Okay.
Understand that this agreement we are making is not one that won't be signed. No contracts will be passed, no pieces of paper will be signed. This is our word of honor. we will perform this task for you. You will bring us this creature and we will slay it. If we fail, you will have our heads. If you fail, we will have yours.
Well, then I think that that's fair. And if we
Very
succeed,
well.
then we all get to celebrate with the head of the Mind Flayer.
Then consider yourself in business with Brigandaire, little lamb. When you need us, you will call upon us. Do you understand?
I do.
You will be watched over constantly. Every move you make, every step upon this city of Waterdeep, we will be there with you, should you need us. But should you betray us, there will be consequences, little lamb, the likes of which you, your ancestors, your friends, and family will never survive.
Well, then I best not.
You will turn and leave this place, and you will never return. To do so would be to die.
Thank you.
Farewell, little lamb.
So is the darkness clearing up so we can...
The darkness is still there, but the voice kind of will lead you this way as the darkness continues. And as the darkness follows you, will lead you out until eventually the voice and the darkness disappear. And when you look back, there is nothing there. And you're back outside.
Flint is smoking a cigar. Holy hell, that went great.
What?
You were fantastic. You were better than great. You were amazing.
Honestly, at this point,
Holy shit.
Do you need
I don't
help
even
standing
remember
or
it.
anything? Okay.
Oh, God.
It was really tempting to
feel like
not
I-
do something.
That's been on my chest for a long time, and I just let it out there. I feel really good. I feel so
It was
free.
fantastic, Doc. It was great. Awesome. Amazing.
Thanks. Thank you, Lynn. Lynn Richards. Thank you. Whew.
Thank you. I wish I could have seen it. But
Right?
Heard it.
Me
Great.
too.
I mean, I could smell it, but like that was only so that only
yeah,
goes
you
so
guys
far.
get garlic? I smell garlic. I don't know.
Garlic
I got a
too.
good whiff.
Was that one of us or was that okay?
I was really tempted to like lean forward and see how close the garlic was, you know. But I restrained myself.
So should we go back and tell him the news?
We should stop for a
Yes.
drink first.
Oh, that sounds
I
incredible.
feel like 12 drinks.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go. Just no one else puke on me tonight. I'll be fine.
No promises.
I
You
can
guys go
accept
get a
that.
drink and eventually wind your way back to the lab where Captain Bromley and Sal will meet you guys and hear the good news of the fact that Bregandurf are now
We just
protected.
need 18,000 more gold. It's fine.
Casually.
Right. And you
Don't
need
we
to turn
have
a
a butt
profit.
ton from? And we need to turn a profit, but don't we have a butt ton from the loan to Ramsey for the?
Yeah, that's a
True,
question.
from the
Ramsey. What'd you do with
medicine
all
and
the
such?
gold
No,
Michael
no.
gave you?
All that money's gone. That money's long
Oh,
gone.
Oh, you don't have that. Okay.
Like, yeah, to start that Death Curse fund, no, gone. Or
All right,
reprised by Michael. Like, he's not letting you have
Right.
that, right? You owe him 500,000 gold pieces as far as he's concerned.
Oh, we owe him
so
that
you
much.
you have the
Silly me.
So you owe 500 grand to Michael Alberetti. You owe 20,000 gold to Bregendev. You owe some amount of money to Mert, which if you don't turn a profit is like a 7,000% interest rate. You know, like something ridiculous because it's a Polish low class. And you owe 80% of all of your profits to your good friend Weird Bottle.
Well, it's lucky for you.
I think we did great.
Turn cards. I know how to deal cards, roll dice, so I can help.
Sounds like my student life.
Yeah. As you guys are kind of figuring out this like money situation and like, okay, you've got Bregendev protection, great. There is a knock on the shipyard like main door.
I'll answer it.
There's a man in a very fine suit who's there, human. With a slightly odd look about him. One of his eyes is like, a little bit lazy, and he's got this kind of like slick back sort of lawyer look to him.
Yes, hello, how can I help you?
Do I have the wild cards here?
Yeah. Who's asking?
The Xanathar Guild.
The Xanathar Guild. Well, did you have a specific person you were here to speak to?
Oh, all of the wild cards, please. Yes, the Xanathar Guild sends its regards and would love to speak with you all about your latest business ventures. And at that point, that's what we're going to tonight's episode.
End your damn obsession.
I couldn't hear what happened.
Oh, the Xanathar Guild are coming up.
Oh. So a lawyer type person showed up at our door.
Like a lawyer with a lazy eye knocked on the door and was like, I'm looking for the wild cards. Like, who's asking? He's like, oh, I'm a representative from the Xanathar Guild. But tell me to talk about your newest business venture.
I'm going to turn my headphones back off.
Oh my goodness. Well, my friends, that's where ending tonight's session. We'll do our little 5-10 minute sort of best bits look and learn by play section for you guys. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to follow us on Twitch for more here on the D&D channel, and of course over at twitch.tv/encounter roleplay. But that's, man, that was an episode.
Yeah.
What were some of our key takeaways from that one, our favorite moments, I guess?
All right, kids. Don't go drastically into debt in dangerous situations. It's probably not good. I will take all of this back if this goes really well, but I really don't think it's going to. So that's I think that's no one. It's just don't go severely into debt.
And listen, whenever you have the chance to,
I don't know.
When you have the chance to give your character's backstory as a fantastic speech to one of the coolest mercenary groups ever, you do it. Oh my god, that was
was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, it was
just
so
there
good.
For the garlic breath. Whew.
Oh man,
I got so much more.
That was so good. That was so good.
Thank you.
So good.
You guys are in it.
Wowie.
And it's
Yeah,
level
isn't
1.
that great? Isn't it good?
I'm doing closeout for the fiscal year of like, you know, my day job, and I'm more worried about the wild cards, you know, balance sheet right now than for like, you know, a year's worth of projects, you know, in like my job. So
that's amazing. Oh, speaking of levels, you guys are, congratulations, level 2, ding ding ding.
Oh,
for
I get my monk archetype.
good deals that you've been making.
I don't know what I get.
Good deals.
Yay! Hell yeah.
We'll figure
Good
it
deals.
out, you know, next week. It's
Thanks,
a really good deal.
charisma.
Right. So yeah, that was pretty fun. I mean, like, this is pretty cool. Like, we've opened up into a very sandbox game this series around. It's not such a linear story, which I think Waterdeep, this module works so well for. Is just like give them a business to run and see what they're going to do with it, and throw enough NPCs and groups at them to see what they want to do with. And we're going to start getting into this point where it's great making these deals, and then you have to start fulfilling these deals. And, like hitting the profits and making sure you guys are turning a business and all of the things that go into running this operation. Because holy moly, have you guys got an operation? You haven't even made the drug yet. So it's kind of made
Thank you very much.
Kind of made it. And you kind of have a casino.
I'm gonna hope that's gonna be the Turntides project because I actually have efficiency.
Hey,
Like,
we got
yeah,
interns,
that's
you know, so we're
I have
good. We got
deception and
interns.
I've got dex.
We've
So,
got interns.
we're here for the work study.
Everybody,
Four
don't
interns.
worry. We've got interns.
We've got
They're
interns.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I'm trying to think about what
That's
my
our
favorite part was.
t-shirt.
There's
got
so many.
interns.
We've got interns.
We've got interns. Wild cards. Man.
Okay, we got interns. company catchphrase.
I
Yeah.
think I don't know. I feel like a good takeaway. I had such an easy opportunity to meta, and I had to play away from it. With the I was going with the casino route, and simultaneously at the same time we had Sal Diore talking about a training grounds of some sort of new and improved I guess that was the business he was selling off. And what it could have been really easy for us is if I did meta there and just go, oh right, we're thinking about doing wild cards. We're like a training grounds, whatever, for adventurers, blah blah blah, so they could tell stories like you. But it was really hard for me not to do that because I know that we've never discussed that in character. So it's you really have to stay true to what your character's ideas are, and also what your character was going to produce, without any, of course, out of character knowledge. I could have easily just been like, oh yeah, training grounds, but I just had to continue with that same thought because we never discussed, even on the way over to Merc's party, what we were even going to ask him for, which was scary because we probably should have. So I guess plan if you have an idea, make sure you let everybody know on your way to making that deal. I think is probably what it was, because that may screw us later when they show up tomorrow with their weapons and their sparring equipment, and we're like, we're going to deal cards. And then, what?
Well, but also on the same note, I mean, I was not necessarily looking for selling a business. I was looking for workers. I was looking for labor. That's what I was originally going to do. My whole thought of going to the bar with you was to try to pick up just some, labor force at the bar. But since we ended up there, it was like, hey, grab these young adventurers instead, and have interns. It's going to be great.
Yeah, man, that was great.
One episode. Whew, love it. All right, friends, let's prepare in a cast real quick. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys? Sid, kick things off for us.
Oh wow. Yeah, I loved this one. I mean, I even have fun whenever I'm not doing anything. When Ramsey was just chilling in the place by herself and whatever. I've been having a great time just watching. I'm so invested, as a viewer. Whenever I'm not playing, I'm just what is happening? And I'm really happy with the way the scene at the end played out, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I'm glad that you guys had a lot of fun with it too. It makes me feel real nice and special when you say nice things about me. Thank you. So you can follow me on Twitter at Sid_Shields, Twitch as Sidniac, and I tweet about all the things I'm doing. So you can go over there. Thank you.
Fantastic. And Myth.
Oh man, I'm super stressed, but I really loved it. That was so. I don't know. If you know me at all, I love the rolling the dice and playing the numbers in the game is fun and stuff too. But I really love just talking to people and telling story without the dice sometimes. So it was a blast to be able to do such and to make such deals and to really get into Bromley's element. Thank you all for watching. Thank you everybody for playing. It was a lot of fun. And letting me hang out here. My name is Mythomatic. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter with the same name. Let me know what you guys like. You can tweet at me anytime. Let me know. Thanks.
Fantastic. And Lindy.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait for next week. I say that every week, but I really can't. I'm going to be waiting in anticipation. I'm so oh man, I was chill last week. Now I'm all antsy. It caught up with me. And it all hit at once. And I'm just so jittery now. Oh my gosh. We're in so many. It's like someone handed us the keys to the backhoe. We were like, we don't need shovels. Just scooping it out with a big old heavy machinery. And I
Yep.
can't wait to see how we hopefully maybe clean up this mess. The good news is, level 2, I'm faster now, so I can outrun all y'all. Bye. You know, if worse comes to worse. And but no, I don't think Drexel would do that. We'll have to see. But you can follow me on all the social medias at Laugh Love Lindy, where I just play a lot of D&D stuff.
Fantastic. And Greg.
Man, to mirror what Sydney said, I love watching what's going on in this. I love just in my head just saying, oh my God, what do we have to do? There's like so many plates we're spinning on sticks and stuff already in this show. But that scene at the end is, this is my 2.5 season of Learn by Play. That might be my favorite scene in this show. As a fan of the Drow, we were joking about it earlier, but ever since Crystal Shard, that whole conversation hit every box for what would have engaged that crew. There's no, they would have killed us, but that was the perfect conversation. It was so good. It was so freaking good. Grimjack, by the way, on my notes, I have every person and every faction, and it says engage them all in some type of agreement. Boom! Check, 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 check. Love it. Love it. Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. I'm going to see you next week, guys. I love it. See you guys later.
Fantastic. And last but not least, Tool Squad.
It was horrible. We're screwed. We're screwed. We're screwed. We're so screwed. We're just done. We're done. Oh, this is fun, fun, fun. Oh no, we're screwed. We owe like a bazillion thousand gold pieces. Right at this point, I'm like, let's just go kill Michael. Let's just go, get rid of $500,000 worth of debt. Done. Taken care of.
What's interest?
I was gonna say, quite frankly, I'm more worried about the $2,000. Well, actually, I'm more worried about the $18,000 now to the Drow.
You're so worried about all this money.
Okay. D&D dad here. This is bad. This is really, really bad. This is poor planning, poor budgeting by all of y'all. All y'all kids put us all in trouble. Papa Sal is about to say, I can't make enough fettuccine before I die. It's like, I'm just trying to, y'all talking about, we want to talk about our safety. Sal's looking at it, he's retirement. He wants to retire, and y'all are messing up his retirement. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm done. I'm done.
Down the middle, income and outgoings, and it's just all outgoings. It's all in the red.
Yeah. Tall, that was just your Sal's too old for this shit speech.
That is my Sal's too old for this shit speech. I was going to retire and make some fettuccine. I went to open it. That's what I was looking to do. Open the kitchen. Oh, terrible.
Well, we know that the Drow now love garlic, so you have a market. Maybe we can pay them back a fettuccine.
I like some fettuccine because I'm going to pay them $18,000 worth of fettuccine.
It's a lifetime supply. You just have to market it as a lifetime supply of fettuccine.
We'll give them Sal. We'll give them Sal to make fettuccine.
Send them off.
Hey,
send them off to the farm. The Drow farm.
I had very sensitive skin. If I got to live in the dark, that's fine. Better just
you sound like such an old Southern woman right now. You're like, if I have to live in the dark, that's fine. I don't want to care anymore.
I was gonna say this is when my Southern comes out. I got my backup. Got to get me all make me a pineapple upside down cake. I'm out. I'm done.
I'm gonna have my sweet tea.
Friends. That was Learn by Play. Hopefully enjoyed it. Join us next week. Go follow all these wonderful folks. Their Twitter handles are there. You can find us at Encounter Roleplay on twitch.tv/Encounter Roleplay for more D&D action. And here every 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific every Thursday for more Learn by Play action. Until next time, my friends, try not to roll too many nat ones. We want to be here laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye. Budget.
Response.
Budget.
What's a budget?